Welcome back to the channel. My name is John, and today we're looking at this NEO-TEC NH872 chainsaw. I bought this myself. This is not a sponsored video, just want to put that up front. I paid $300 for this. It's a 28-inch saw that came with it, and it's supposed to be kind of a copy of a Husqvarna. I'm gonna try it out. I needed a longer chainsaw. I didn't want to spend over $1,000. Need something more powerful, so let's test this thing out. All I've done so far is assemble this, and I've already tuned it a little bit, and I'll let you know a little bit how I did that. But let me turn this around and show you one mistake not to make. They shipped this in two different pieces. They shipped me the motor, and then they shipped the chain and the bar separately. So in my excitement, I went to assemble this without the chain and the bar on, and I tightened these nuts down right here, and look what I did. I don't know if you can see that, but I cracked it. I cracked the case right there. So don't be an idiot and do that, right? This case is meant to be tightened down with the bar in here. Without the bar in here, it's gonna crack the case. So I don't know if that's poor design or just plain stupidity on my part, but I just want to throw that out there in case you do something like that. I'm not going to go through every detail about this. There's other videos on YouTube. All I'm going to do is let's tune it up. Let's fire this thing up and let's cut some firewood with it. This is 71 horsepower. I thought real hard about getting the 92 horsepower, but that thing is a monster. You know, it's really heavy, bulky. I mean, you can put a good 3-foot bar on there and cut some really big wood, but you know, if I'm gonna be cutting for several hours, I needed something a little bit lighter than that. Quick thing to note here, when you tune this, they give you a bag of tools here. These is really all you need right here. To tune it, you really need this little screwdriver. I wish they had made this with one of those hex nuts or those teeth nuts, because you know it's a pain in the butt to try to find a flathead screwdriver when you stick it in these holes here. So that's kind of the downside to Husqvarna. I think Husqvarna actually has a tool that goes in there. What you're going to want to do, another mistake I made, don't put the chain and bar on when you're tuning this for the first time, because you don't know how this is set and you don't want this thing to take off on you. Trust me, ask me how I know. Any case, if it does take off on you, very first thing you want to do is stick your screwdriver in this little idle place right here. And to turn down the idle, you go counterclockwise. All right, so it's a little bit different from these, right? Where you would, this is your low and this is your high, and you go clockwise to kind of close that screw off and it closes up. Here, to turn down the idle so it revs less, you go counterclockwise. So get that ready the first time you do it and turn that thing all the way down so it's not revving on you. And then you can jump to your low and your high and you can tune those in. Let me fire this thing up and we'll see how it sounds. Sounds like it's idling a little bit high. Oh, the chain's moving. I don't think you want that. Maybe barely creeping along. We're probably going to adjust it a little bit. You hear it come down a little bit? Yeah, it's a little bit better. All right, it still sounds a little bit high. I think it would come down a little bit, but I'm afraid to stall it out, so I'm okay with that. The chain's not moving. It's pretty good. So I need to go try this on some firewood now. I've got some big old logs in the back of the property here. All right, it's been a couple days, but this wood pile needs to be cut up. I need to straighten off some of these sides, and I need to get this ready for firewood. But let's see how this chainsaw works on it. All right, that was my first cut, and that frankly sucked, you know? That was really slow. I don't think the top end throttle adjustment, I think it needs adjusting. So let's see if we can tweak it a little bit. All right, I want to try this again. I've tweaked the carb a little bit, and it sounded great when I was just doing it. Let's see now if I can run it for a few minutes and see if it sounds the same way. Before I do that, I'm going to test out the wood water with this new tool that I got. Let me take this off. These folks, they sent me this. It's basically a detector to see how much water you have in your firewood. So you want your water content to be, I think, 15 to 20%, something like that. So I'm going to test it out, see if it's ready. I highly doubt this is ready. I haven't tested it yet, but I bet you this is probably still pretty wet. If you need one of these, this is really inexpensive, and I can give you 10% off. I'll put the link down in the description. Use that code, you'll get 10% off. So let's try it out. We'll turn it on. It's color coded here, so right now it shows nothing. It's not bad. 15%, 12%, 13, 18. All right, I was expecting it to be a lot higher. This wood has been sitting out a little bit. Let me try another piece. All right, I just sliced this today, so we'll take right in the middle here. Oh yeah, okay, 26%. Yeah, see that I just sliced it today. It has not been sitting in the sun. 24%, 20%. So I would say I'd say this needs to dry out a little bit more. That's why I'm cutting it now, so I can slice it and let it dry out. This stuff right on the edge, you can see here, this has been sitting out open and low. All that says is low. Okay, so that's dry, right? Then where I cut it, 12.6, 12.5. Yeah, but that was just the very end piece, so I imagine that it dried out. So right in the middle, still pretty moist right in the middle. Pretty cool tool. You can see if your wood is ready to be burned in the fireplace. Here it is again. TWM 186. Get it on Amazon. I'll put the link down in the description. 10% off. Back in the shade. It's like 100 degrees out here. Gotta do some more tweaking. You saw how it cut. It's not cutting very good at all. Brand new chainsaw. It doesn't feel like it's hitting high RPMs. So it doesn't feel like any adjustments I do to the carburetor are doing anything, you know? I'm gonna have to play around with it a little bit. All right, I think I've got it tuned up. I'm gonna try this again. Dude, it did great right up until that spot where it cut out. I don't know why. It just like cut off. Let me get back in the shade here. I mean, it was feeling really good, holding high power for a while, and then just like died. massive tree here. Two trees coming out together. This trunk is, yeah, it's gonna be tough to cut it. No, I can't move that. All right, so what I'm doing right now is just cutting off all these ends here so it's nice and straight so I can chop it up into firewood. See this size of this tree here? That's probably 3 feet wide. My blade's not even gonna fit that way. I'll probably have to cut it down this way. And then, yeah, and cut it again. So it's doing a little bit better, the saw is. I mean, it doesn't feel very strong. It gets bogged down. So it's either me and not knowing how to tune this correctly, which is probably the case, or the saw sucks. But I think the saw is better than that. Should be 71cc, and you know, maybe it needs a little bit breaking in, but I'm gonna keep tweaking with the high and low screw and the idle. See if I can get this stuff, so see if I can get it so it cuts better. It could be the wood. I mean, this is like pine. I don't know if pine is like sappy and really difficult to cut, you know, but it's a brand new chain, so should be plenty sharp. And I did adjust the oil to get a little bit more oil coming out of there. So it's cutting a little bit better than when I started, but it's definitely not ideal right now. Should be cutting like butter, brand new like this. 92 degrees. I think I'm done for the day. It's just too hot out here. And my evaluation for this chainsaw is going to be, I don't know, it's up in the air right now. It seemed to be cutting a little bit better. Maybe that engine needs to break in a little bit. I don't know. But it's definitely not easy to tune it right out of the box, you know. You typically go 1 1/4 turns and start from there with each screw. For the high, I went 1/2 turn, if that, and that was the sweet spot. And for the low, I went 1 1/2 at least for that. So I'm doing something wrong, but yeah. And then it stalls, like right when it seems like it's doing great, it just like cuts out, and then I can't get it restarted. You know, I got to choke it to get it restarted. After a lot of pulls, and then once I do get it restarted, then it runs great, and I didn't tweak a thing, you know. So I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna play around with it a little bit more. Still needs some tweaking. All right, I know I'm not wearing the proper attire out here. It's just too hot. I had to take the pants off. But let's give this one more shot. Trying to go right down in that knot, kind of like spirit plunge cut, but it just stalled out. Ah, forget it. All right, well, I must have hit a rock because some of these blades are already just chewed up. So that wood is on gravel back there, and yeah, I didn't think I went all the way through, but I probably did. So I'm gonna sharpen these blades again. I spent over an hour trying to tune this, so I think I got it tuned up again, but this is an Oregon field manual file here. It's brand new. I can see the steel coming off here, so you don't have to put a ton of pressure on here. Some of these blades need a lot of work here, so I'm trying to be a little more careful. pretty bad. I want an aggressive cut, so just gonna hit them a little bit. I think they're low enough. All right, we're gassed back up. I've got the chainsaw sharpened. I think I have it tuned in this time. So let me try to get through this log, maybe a few more logs here. I don't have to cut too much off of this. This is gonna be a big one here. I'd love to get through that one if I could. Oh, let's see if I can get this out of here. Oh. Yeah, that's gonna be a big one. I'm gonna have to come all the way through there. All right, so let's see how this works. See if I really got it tuned in right. Seems like it's doing better. Seems like it's running pretty good now. So let me see if I can, I don't know, slice a little bit off of this big monster. I think it's probably about 36 inches wide. That's not doing too bad. Look at these flakes. These are some good long shavings here, and I'm cutting with the grain here, so I think that makes it even more difficult. And yeah, all the way in. I was doing a plunge cut here just to see how that did, and yeah, it's cutting in there. So I'm probably have to get the skid steer, move this, turn it around, and then cut a little bit out of time, get it just ready to chop up into firewood. But some of this other stuff, I just straightened it up, so now I can split that, I can split that, I can split that. This piece, some of these pieces I'll probably need to get to and shorten them a little bit more. That piece is still too long. I need to turn this one over, but oh, it's just these other ones are in the way for right now. Oh, there we go. I can finish cutting that one there. Now I'm concerned I hit some of those rocks. See that piece of gravel? I think that's what I did to dull this. You know, I hit some rocks under here, so I got to be careful. Hit the rock one time and you dull the blade. Well, I guess I'll close it up. That's the review of this NEO-TEC NH872. Again, I purchased this with my money. They did not send me this. I needed a 71cc, not 71 horsepower, 71cc engine. I thought that would be a good middle of the road chainsaw. So far so good. Taking a little bit of time to tune it in, but I think that's simply because I'm a novice at it. Once you get it tuned in, get a nice sharp blade, then we'll see how it does. We'll see how long it lasts. So anyway, if you like videos of chainsawing, let me know. If you like videos of heavy equipment, excavators, skid steers, bulldozers, and dump trucks, let me know. If you want to see more of me working on the F-150 or other cars or the F-350, let me know. I'm trying to figure out where where this channel is going, really. It seems like some videos really take off, other videos barely get noticed, so I don't quite know what's going on with the YouTube algorithm, but trying to figure it out. In any case, appreciate you watching, and I appreciate you giving this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you on the next one.